The heart of your syllabus is really what this class is about. What are students going to do? What should they know and be able to do at the end of the course? And you get all this information from something called CCNS, or otherwise known as the Common Course Numbering System. So this system is made so that everybody who is teaching one particular course in the Community College of Colorado system, it's all the same across the board. So if we're teaching MAT 121 College Algebra 1 here at MCC, it's the same course and the same content that's being taught at Front Range Community College, Red Rocks Community College, Otero Junior College, etc. So when you're looking for the CCNS stuff, you have to make sure that you copy the course description exactly, that you get the course learning outcomes exactly, and that you get the topical outline exactly. So one thing I want you to be aware of is that you can't get this information for the catalog. Our current catalog has the description, but it doesn't have the topical outline or the outcomes. And also, we're hoping this isn't true, but sometimes things slip through the cracks. Sometimes we don't update a course when the community college system does, and so our description might not match their description. If you see that happening, make sure to contact the curriculum committee and let them know that that's happening, and they'll guide you in how you can fix that. But that's why we don't use a catalog. So there are a couple things you can do in here. You can click the link to CCNS. You can come in here and go to the Colorado Community College System website. It may or may not look the same when you're watching this video. So I'll go to Staff and Faculty, Academic Affairs, and choose Common Course Numbering System. Or what I like to do is just type in CCNS and hit enter or return, and it's usually the top result in Google. So once we get in there, we need to find our course. So I'll go ahead and look at current courses. Well, let me backtrack. Right now, this is current courses. When we're creating new courses or editing courses, you can click on proposed courses to see what those proposed changes are, but you can't actually have them in your syllabus until they are approved. So we're going to just choose current courses, click submit search, look for our prefix starting letter. So we'll go to MGD, and now we're specifically looking for MGD 141, Web Design 1. And here's where we have the course description, the competencies. These are what students should know and be able to do by the end of the course. And then we have the full topical outline that helps us as instructors know exactly what we need to cover when teaching this course. Okay, so over here we have this course description, and it has all these different instructions. So we can highlight that and delete it since we read those and we're good with it. So now we just need to add the description here. Now, when you do this, this is kind of like weird code. So what you're going to do is highlight and copy this. So you can right click and choose copy, or Control C as in cat, or as in copy, that makes more sense, or Command C if you're on a Mac. But I'll just copy this right now. And if I come in here and highlight this and do Command V as in Victor, or Control V if you're on a PC, if I do that, it's going to come out with like this weird font. So you can, that's fine if you want to do it that way. You can come in here later and double click the format painter and highlight any of the text, and it should go back to normal. And if you double click the format painter, by the way, it just keeps your mouse on the format painter so you can highlight multiple things, and you just have to hit escape to get out of it. Okay, so if you'd rather do it the other way, I like to highlight things, and when I go up to paste, and mine looks a little bit different just because I'm on a Mac, but you should be able to see the home tab and then go to the paste button, and it's all the way on the left. So go here, and you should see a little icon for a little, what are those? Clipboard with an A on it, where it just keeps the text only, it doesn't keep any of the formatting. So we'll go ahead and click that, and that will give us our text for the description. So same thing for the course learning outcomes. We'll go ahead and delete the instructions, and we will then, well, there's that little space, and we'll highlight these and do again Control C or Command C. Highlight this, and I'm going to come over here and hit keep text only. Now when you do this, this is kind of annoying because you're going to have to come through, if you want to use actual bullets, and get rid of all this stuff. So I wish it were less annoying, but it's an old system and we don't have an option right now. So I'm going to just highlight all of these. And once they are highlighted, I should be able to come in here and just add my bullets. And they used to make you put like what competency or outcome related to which which topical outline item. We'll get to that in a second. So you don't have to have necessarily that stuff anymore. So I always take it out. But you can't delete any of these otherwise. You can't change them. You can't decide not to teach them. You must teach these 100%. So let's fix some of that punctuation. And there we go. Okay. Oops, there's 2 more. Okay. So it's a little bit tedious, but doesn't take too terribly long. Okay. So once you do that, you can highlight this and you can choose if you want to do bullets or numbering or outline, but there we go. So there's a course learning outcomes, and same thing with the topical outline. We'll delete this. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to necessarily delete everything, because this is a specific heading for accessibility and it'll take that formatting and your topical outline will look huge and blue and whatever. So again, we're going to highlight all of this, and I'm not gonna format all of that for you because it's going to take forever. But again, we're going to paste it, and then we're going to have to clean up all this extra space and gap, etc. So, but that's where you're going to get the description, the topical outline, and the student outcomes is by going to the Common Course Numbering System, looking in the current courses. Another thing that you should be aware of is if you're working on a GT course, you do have to add other information for GT courses, which means guaranteed transfer courses. And you can tell if you're a guaranteed transfer because you have this little code next to it. So if I go back into math, you can see that some of these mathematics classes do not have that little code, so they're not guaranteed transfer. But like this whole chunk right here, they are all guaranteed transfer. So back in here, you have 4 different learning outcomes. These are the ones, the required course learning outcomes you must teach. 100%, you have to teach them. But then usually there's also, well, not usually, sometimes there's recommended course learning outcomes where those are optional. You can teach them if you want to, or if you feel like it's relevant, or if you have time to get to them. So recommended, you know, I would recommend that you teach those just so that it's equal with everybody else in the state. But again, you get what recommended means. So just be aware of that. And then in terms of the GT stuff, this may or may not be the same depending on when you're watching this video, but you can copy this link, paste it into a browser, hit enter or return, and be able to download the math information. So let's see if I got that. I have so much stuff downloaded that who knows. Okay, so here's all the GT math requirements, and you're going to have to read through that, and there's websites that you can get to. The best bet for you guys is if you are a GT, if this is a GT course, mine is not a GT course, but if yours is a GT course, make sure to talk to the Office of Instruction. There should be a shell in D2L that has all the pre-made syllabi for you. Somebody's already made it with all the correct information. So you want to start from that kind of, you want to start with that document because it's already got like half of it or most of it done for you. So anyway, if you have questions, make sure to ask your mentor, teacher, or contact the Office of Instruction.